Hey guys, welcome back for another week of Captain Hansom's Handicapping. Before I get into anything, you're going to notice I'm not wearing an NFL jersey this week. I'm wearing a Bridget's Run shirt. For those who know me, know I'm very involved in a community that tries to help families that have suffered the loss of a child. These guys organize a run every year in honor of their daughter Bridget, who they lost. And they do incredible work. Their event is today. It's a virtual run today. You can do 1 kilometer, 5 kilometers. If that is the kind of thing that interests you, you can find them on Facebook. I believe they're on Twitter and Instagram as well. But super easy to find them on Facebook. You can register up until 5 p.m. today I can tell you from experience that losing a child is the worst thing that can ever happen to a human being. And having organizations like this that strive to help people like that who are going through that is monumental in your success. We met Bridget's parents through a support group that my wife and I were in, and they're incredible people just trying to help other people who have been going through, who are going through or will be going through the worst thing in their life. So if that's the kind of thing you want to be interested in, go check them out. Their event is today. You can register until 5 p.m. That is it for my public service announcement. So let's get into the picks. Last week we were 2-2. Our 2-unit play won, so we were up 0.73 units, which puts us up 8.51 units for the week. The big mistake I made was Jacksonville. They cost me 2 different plays. They cost me the parlay. Well, they cost me both the plays I lost. And the issue with Jacksonville, I when I made the bet, I didn't think I thought Miles Jack was going to be playing. I didn't hear that he was out yet, and I think that he was sorely missed. They also missed, missing those kicks, things like that, really put them in a bad spot, and they couldn't recover. And they're just a bad football team. So this week I will be going against them. I am taking the Detroit Lions -3. Those who know me know I like the Lions. I think they're a better team than they get credit for. I know Miles Jack is back this week. I know CJ Henderson is back this week, but I think Detroit is a much better football team than they are. I actually think Detroit's just poorly coached. But I love Matt Stafford. I think that DeAndre Swift is going to get some opportunity this week. He's been able to get a little bit rested, a little bit, healed up from the early season injuries. And I think that, AP was there to be an early season guy to take some pressure off of mostly DeAndre Swift. And I think that, they're going to use DeAndre Swift more in the running game. Not a ton, but more, and a lot more in the passing game this week. And I think that, if they can keep him away from Miles Jack, then I think that they're going to be in a good spot. And I think that covering 3 will be easy. I think the Jags are one of the worst teams in the league. They started out with a nice, early, season, little bit of maybe they're going to be something, but Miami crushed them. And I think Detroit is as good as Miami, and I think Detroit will have no issues with them either. And I think Matt Stafford's a better quarterback than Ryan Fitzpatrick, and I don't think that's a crazy thing to say. I love Fitz. I love the guy. Love the way he plays, but Matt Stafford is an elite level quarterback who doesn't get the credit because he's played on bad and poorly coached teams. So I like Detroit -3 for a unit. The other pick, one of the other picks that I like Pittsburgh -3.5, playing Cleveland. This line opened at 5.5, and people smarter than me bet it down to 3.5. So they seem to like Cleveland a lot. You might even want to wait for the 3 to see if that comes. I would recommend 1 unit if it's at 3.5, and if you can get it at 3, I'd recommend a 2-unit play. I've already put a unit at 3.5, and if 3 comes up, I'll probably put a couple more on that. I just think the Pittsburgh Steelers might be the class of that division. Baltimore's very good, and Lamar Jackson is the best player in that division. But the Steelers defense, which hasn't really gotten to 100 yet, is very good. Roethlisberger's just got so many weapons. And he's got 2 great tight ends. He's got a couple of running backs that he can use who are not exceptional, but are very useful. He's got 4 wide receivers, although Deontay Johnson's out this week. But apparently they don't need him. All they need is Chase Claypool. Mapletron, what a great name. So I think Pittsburgh's very good. I think Cleveland hasn't really played anybody until last week when they played Indy, who I also told you I really like Indy, except for the fact that their quarterback is atrocious. And so I think that Cleveland won that game because Phillip Rivers sucks. I still don't buy into Baker. I think he's decent. I think he's an average quarterback, but I don't think he's anything special. And I don't think he's the kind of guy who can win the big game when it matters. I mean, that remains to be seen. Like I said, I don't hate the guy. I just don't think he's great. There's a ton of guys on the team that I love. We don't know what percentage OBJ is going to be or if he's even playing at this point. I haven't seen anything come through yet. We know it's not COVID, so if he's healthy enough, he will, or if he can strap him on, he'll be there. Because OBJ is a warrior and doesn't get the credit for it. People call him a prima donna, but the guy goes to war. But at the end of the day, I think Pittsburgh's just a better team. I think Pittsburgh might be the second best team in the AFC behind Kansas City, and I think that 3.5 at home is not a lot of points. My last single pick for the week is Dallas. We missed the best number at getting 2.5 points, and I loved getting 2.5 points. But you can still get the money line at even money, so I would definitely recommend a unit play at plus 100. Arizona, we thought they'd be better. People know I love Kyler. I love Kyler, but the guy hasn't been anything to write home about. I mean, his numbers look good because his fantasy numbers look good because he rushes the ball a lot, and but he hasn't been the guy I thought he was. If you want to talk about weapons, Dallas has a ton of weapons. I know Dak's out, but the honest truth is I've never been a huge Dak guy, and Andy Dalton is exactly who we know he is. If he's got a good team, which he's got weapons here, he'll be a good quarterback. Now, if Arizona had a pass rush that anybody should be scared of, I might feel differently because we know that Dallas line is banged up. But Arizona's pass rush sucks. And so I don't think they're going to be able to put enough pressure on Dalton. I think he's going to have time. He's got a ton of weapons. He's got 3 great receivers. He's got a tight end who came out of nowhere to be, very good this year. And he has an all-pro running back. I think he's got all the weapons that he needs. I think he's going to be able to put up some decent numbers, and I think that they're going to beat them. I think they're going to win this one, not handily, but I don't think it's going to be one of those last play of the game. Somebody's trying to do something or needs to do something. I think Dallas is going to win the game, and I think 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we're going to know Dallas won that game. So I'm taking Dallas money line for a unit. And last is the teaser parlay that I'm playing. It is, again, a 7-point teaser. I am moving Baltimore down to 2.5, minus 2.5. I'm moving Miami down to minus 2.5, and I'm moving Dallas up to plus 8 on a 7-point teaser. That is for 1 unit. All my plays are 1 unit this week. I honestly don't love it. Most of the games are either 3 to 3.5 or less, or 7 or more. There's very little between 3 and 7. This week. So I don't think that there's a super ton of value on the board this week, but those are the 4 plays that I'm making this week. As always, guys, if you want in-game plays or, stuff that I come up with, maybe I see an edge somewhere here or there, you can always follow me on Twitter at Captain Handsome, at CPT_Handsome. Otherwise, guys, thanks so much for listening. Don't forget, Bridget's Run is today. You have until 5 o'clock to register if you want. Otherwise, guys, thank you for paying attention to my stuff, and I appreciate you. Always remember, bet responsibly. Don't bet more than you have. Make good choices, guys. Thank you.